Hello there. I am so excited to share with you our amazing training for today. This one is near and dear to my heart. It is all about building a business that runs without you. How to build a business that isn't fully dependent on you. I'm going to be taking you through 4 crucial steps to do just that. Now, let's talk about specifically what we're going to be going over today because it's some amazing things. Number 1, I'm going to be teaching you how to get your marketing done without you doing it each week. So you're no longer the bottleneck in your company. I'm going to talk about how to let go of your calendar forever so you never have to do admin tasks again. I'm also going to talk about how you can stop checking email, my friends. I mean, how amazing is that? So that you never have to get bogged down with email again. And finally, how to organize your calendar so that you can finally take weeks off. Now, this, my friends, is going to be one of the most amazing trainings that I have ever done. I'm doing it outside in my backyard just to really drive home the point of how amazing it is to be able to have a business that's not dependent on you. Now, let's just talk a moment about everything that this relates to. Now, before we get into this next piece of everything, I just want to invite you to stay with me to the end of this training because this is just the beginning. I've also got another training that I've created called 3 Crucial Keys to Running a Business. It takes what I'm teaching here to the next level, and I'm going to give you the URL to that training at the end of this training. It's my way of saying thank you for staying with me until the end. Now, who am I? Who am I to be teaching this training, and who am I to begin with if you're new to me? Welcome. I'm Monica Shah. My company is Revenue Breakthrough, and I help women entrepreneurs, coaches, consultants, healers, and other client-based businesses to be able to double their incomes within 12 to 18 months through scaling solid business strategy and learning how to do things in the right order at the right time in the right sequence. Now, what I love about this training is that my highest value, and I know for a lot of you, your highest value is freedom. You got into business because you wanted to do what you wanted to do, when you wanted to do it, how you wanted to do it, with whom you wanted to do it with, and where you wanted to do it. You wanted total freedom. And that, my friends, is what running a business that is not dependent on you is all about. And I'm super excited to jump into this with you. So let's first start with the first secret here. The secret to getting your marketing done without you doing it each week. So my friends, here's the key, is that anything can happen in our businesses. We can get sick. We can have family that needs care and attention. We can be at a place where we have to go on a trip or even go on a vacation. And we can't depend on ourselves to get our marketing done each week, to get our newsletters, our videos out. And what if something happens? So there is a way to be able to do this ahead of time so that it's not dependent on you. And my favorite way to do this is batch processing. So here's what batch processing is. I am somebody that's super busy in my business. I've got clients every single week. I've got a full client load that I am working with week in, week out. And so I don't always have the same energy, the same ability to be able to do a video every day or to write a social media post every day. So what I do instead is I batch process. Batch processing means that I do 8 videos at a time, 4 newsletters at a time, at least 2 or 3 longer videos at a time, so that I can put them in the queue, and then week to week, I don't have to worry about getting them done. This is key. I want you to really take and put aside 2 to 3 days a month to batch process your videos. This is going to make the biggest difference to you being able to get your marketing done without it being dependent on you every single week. All right, step number 2 here is never touch your calendar again. Now, one of the biggest bottlenecks of time, right, that I talk about all the time is your calendar. People will call you. They'll want to reschedule appointments. People will email you. They'll want to get on your calendar. And you're sitting there in the middle of your day trying to get all your work done. And then you're on your calendar trying to negotiate whether somebody wants Tuesday at 3 o'clock or Tuesday at 4:30. You're trying to negotiate whether somebody can have a conversation with you on Friday. And beyond that, we also get in our own way because we don't know how to schedule someone. We often break our own boundaries. We'll decide that we don't want to have somebody before 10 o'clock a.m. And then, it'll be a favorite client who asks for a special exception and wants to get in before 10 o'clock a.m. And before we know it, we're putting them in at 9 and we're breaking our own boundaries. So my recommendation here is that you give your calendar to your assistant, to a virtual assistant. Now, if you don't have a virtual assistant, I'll do a whole nother video at some point on getting a virtual assistant, working with a virtual assistant. But essentially, you want to hire somebody who can manage your calendar. And in order to allow them to do that, you want to make calendar rules. And what I mean by calendar rules is that you decide, okay, I'm going to start work at 10. I'm going to end work at 4. No more than 3 client appointments back to back. For example, I have a lunch break from 12 to 1 every day. I have an afternoon break from 3:30 to 4 every day. And then your client is pretty much allowed, or your assistant is pretty much allowed to manage the schedule within those calendar rules. So your invitation is to make calendar rules for yourself. Now, what's beautiful about this is not only does your assistant know the calendar rules and is able to live by those calendar rules, which is fantastic, it also allows for you to have boundaries that somebody else can enforce. Right? It's so much easier for your assistant to say, no, you know what? She doesn't have any availability before 10 a.m. I can't put you in, than it is for you to say that you don't have any availability before 10 a.m. So you see, not only does this take the calendar out of your hands, but it also allows for somebody else to uphold your boundaries, which is so much easier. The other thing to remember here is once you start to give your calendar to someone else, you're going to need to make sure that you put everything in your calendar. So if you want personal time, if there's a doctor's appointment, if you want to take a Friday off, you've got to block that in your calendar so that your team does not fill that spot. And that's a really good behavior and habit for you to get into. All right, next piece here is number 3, email. Right? That's the biggest time suck when it comes to having your business be dependent on you, is you going through every single email. So again, I invite you to give your email to your assistant. Now, I know at the beginning, this might seem, oh my gosh, this is crazy making. So a couple things I want to say here. First of all, you want to have one email address that everybody's emailing into. So for example, we have one, support@revenuebreakthrough.com. That's one email address. Nobody has any other email address that they can email our company to. None of our team members have their own email addresses. I don't have my own email address. And that way, all emails coming into one place. That's piece number 1. And then piece number 2, if you are getting a lot of email to that email address, I recommend that you get an email software. You could use Zendesk, Zendesk, or Teamwork PM also has Teamwork Desk. We use Teamwork Desk. And what it is it's an email tool that comes in to an email platform, and then your assistant can go through it and she can literally assign email to different members of the team. And it makes it really efficient and easy for one person to be going through all the email each day. What's also great about this is that it allows for you to start systematizing your responses and your rules for clients. So in the beginning, what's going to happen is your assistant's going to have tons of questions about every email that comes in. And what I would recommend is that you have her fill a Google Doc with all of her questions. And then once a day, you go into the Google Doc and you write responses to the various emails that are coming in, or you have a meeting with her and you talk out the responses. And for at least the first 2 weeks, you're probably going to want to do that every single day. And then after about 2 weeks of this, you're going to notice that people are asking the same questions. It's the same emails coming in, and it's very rare that somebody has an email that comes in that gets handled differently. So your assistant can get used to really doing email without you. And then she can also start to systematize responses. So not only can she do it, but the next person after your assistant can also do it. There will be probably every few days, there's going to be something where she doesn't know the response. And then you guys can create a Google Doc or a system in which she writes questions in there. And then you get to it at the end of each day, or every few days, or when you get back from vacation, whatever works for you. What I don't want you to do is let her ping you every few minutes so that she can answer your questions, because that's the whole opposite of the direction we're going in. You just want this to happen once a day, where she puts all the questions in one document. You answer them once a day, or once every other day, or once every couple days. And let's talk about step number 4 here, which is the secret to taking weeks off without moving all of your clients. So the old school way of booking clients was that you would have a client, and that client would be every week at 4 o'clock. So every week at 4 o'clock, you would every Tuesday at 4 o'clock, you would have Sarah. Every Thursday at 4 o'clock, you would have Sally. And that's well and good, except that what if you want to go on a vacation? What if you want to take a week off? What if you want to go to a business conference? Then you've got to move everyone that week, and it becomes very admin heavy oriented. And again, your business feels like it's dependent on you. So what do you do instead? One of the great things that you can do is allow your clients to flexibly add flexibility scheduling in. So here's how this would work. The way we do it is if we are booking clients for July, on June 15th, we send out the scheduling link. The scheduling link has all my available times in July, and they can click anywhere and schedule their 2 appointments. And then in July, on July 15th, we send out the scheduling link for August. And so what that means, for example, in my world, is that I'm taking 2 weeks off in August to go to India. And so I am booking my clients in the 3 weeks that I'm here. And then in September, we're taking 2 weeks to go to Mexico. So I'm booking my clients in the 3 weeks that we are not traveling. So it has allowed me to be able to take a vacation anytime I want, or take weeks off. Now, so really the way this works is you send out the calendar link, we do it by 11 a.m. on the 15th of every month. And so all you need to know is you need to know your schedule for the month 30 days ahead of time, which for most of us is pretty reasonable. And that allows you to not have the business dependent on you. It allows you to make different decisions, take time off when you need it. The only thing that it does add is you do have to check and make sure that your clients have booked their appointments for that month. And every now and then you'll have 1 or 2 clients that just forgets to book. And that's something that, again, you want your virtual assistant doing for you, is checking to make sure that everyone has booked their appointments. Okay, so let's go over a summary here. Let's make this a little bigger. So, summary: to build a business that it is not dependent on you, that is a self-running business. Number 1, batch process your marketing. Number 2, implement calendar rules for your assistant so that your assistant can run your calendar. Release your email to your assistant and make sure that you start to systemize scripts so that your assistant can answer various kinds of emails, and create flexible client scheduling that works around your calendar. You send that link out every 30 days. All right, my friends, I am hoping that you found this super useful. These are 4 of the things that I have found to be most useful in my own business. So I want to hear from you. Which of these is most exciting to you? Which did you like? Which did you find most fascinating? Which are you going to implement? Let me know in the comments. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I'll be back here. I'll be answering your comments and answering your questions when you put them in there. And I thank you ahead of time for doing that. And don't forget, if this is resonating for you, don't forget to like this video, to subscribe to the channel, and definitely turn that notifications button on so you don't miss any future videos. And last but not least here, this is the training that I promised that you would get if you stayed to the end. What I've shared with you today is just the beginning, the tip of the iceberg. I have created an even more in-depth video training on all of the things that I just talked about. And you can pick it up here at revenuebreakthrough.com/3-keys. And you'll find this link in the notes around this video as well. You can click on it there. Thank you. Have an amazing, amazing day. And I'll see you all soon in our next video. Mwah.